You ever play a game that speaks to you on such a personal level that it alters your outlook on life? Maybe the themes present throughout its story hit different, or a particular powerful moment sticks with you, or maybe the gameplay of the game itself is just enough to make you go, damn. I'm beating around the bush. Ha ha, funny watermelon game. This is Suika game, a simple game that anyone can play, no doubt, but that isn't to say that it doesn't have depth. It has that in spades, actually. Enough for me to make the bold claim that got you curious to click this video anyway. I'm gonna explain. You play as a fruit-dropping cloud moving left to right while placing fruit into a bag with the goal of bagging yourself a high score, which you do by combining fruit. Because just like in real life, the combination of two of the same fruit results in the creation of an entirely different one bigger in size. The circle of evolution is as follows, ranging from the smallest fruit presence to the biggest. Because the cycle ends with the watermelon, it may be your initial goal to achieve that. The game doesn't end once you do, however. Achieving watermelon is only a step in your high score journey, and really, if you're not careful, it can quickly be more of a hindrance than a help. Pretty much the only use you get out of a placed fruit is by combining it. Sure, you can use some, particularly the smaller ones, to push other fruit around, but beyond that, they just sit there occupying space otherwise. At times you may be able to immediately make use of a recently placed fruit, while at other times that fruit you placed 5 minutes ago just gets buried beneath a bunch of other fruit you had to accommodate for, because the game didn't give you what you needed at the time you needed it. The fruits are given to you randomly. You have no control over what is next given to you, but you are given a bit of foresight in seeing which fruit is set to come up next. You cannot swap between it and the one you're currently holding, however. Regardless of whether you want to or not, you need to place the fruit somewhere. And, while you can direct where the fruit may initially fall, due to the game's physics system, hardly ever can you directly control where it'll land. So you can guide the fruit's initial fall points, but not where it lands. And you can't switch to an upcoming fruit, but you can plan accordingly with it in mind and make do with what you are given. No matter how much you have planned, however, you are always at the mercy of chance. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You may have yourself a decent arrangement of fruit that you spent minutes carefully coordinating, but should one fruit fall the opposite way of what you want, all that then potentially goes to waste. At that point, you find yourself praying that the RNG will give you a fruit you're wanting again, which is never a guarantee. The game keeps you on your toes in this way. You have to be flexible and able to formulate different approaches under circumstances you're never in complete control of. While playing Suika game, this is how it reminds me of life itself. A game where things can go right and things can go wrong, both at the drop of a hat. A game where you find skill in optimizing randomness. Just like in real life, I may find myself cursing away at a decision I made prior that's biting at me now, or I may have a whole thing going for me only for it to all fall apart as a result of a single mistake. Just as in life, there are things you can influence in Suika game, just as there are things you can never entirely control. You may have a good run, and you may have a bad one. Either way, it is not entirely because of you. You have influence, but you don't have control. All this is to say that my life has been a 2-decade-long watermelon game. And I still don't have the watermelon.